This video is intended to describe a lightblade power pack named Sorcery Ascension, which most certainly has the stones to back it as a very fun appreciated pun. Joining me today shall be my whimsical stick figure chakra map to serve as illustrative guide and various chakra stimulation of this very high yield, power to size ratio, clandestine pocket rocket. So starting off right now with the very big elephant in the room, if you would be this very large, opulent specimen of moldavite that happens to have the Eye of Horus etched into it magically, which is very neat. So the aspect of Sorcery Ascension is a very high-yield platform like I just implied. And the aspect of the moldavite seen right here makes for quite the intrinsic cornerstone, I guess you could say, of this construct for a very high-yield platform nature, which would basically be the main configuration contingent element of this entire closed-loop circuit. This moldavite is quite potent based on its sheer size ratio emanation, which basically, of course, the apparatus has been built around it as the primary central node. Moldavite, of course, is quite infamous and famous in this timeline for being a tremendous dharmic accelerant that is unrivaled in the mineral kingdom of dramatic, high-heart green ray storm elemental cosmic alignment to direct connection to source, which, of course, gets its bad rap for being quite the ego diarrhea provocative frequency because of its radical magical synchronization of direct alignment source attunement, which is very destructive and toxic on the false self matrix, to kind of give my little opinion spin on the concept of moldavite in application of vibrational engineering. So the aspect of the moldavite seen right here as a central point makes it for quite the powerful, immersive, magical device to back the archetypal designation of Sorcery Ascension. So that moldavite, of course, is the great dominance of this entire output, which the rest of the apparatus has been affixed around it, which I'll describe right now. And so right here, with these blade bands seen like so, there are two blade bands installed. This would be something that'd be very supportive to the intention initiative of the standing wave of Sorcery Ascension, would be this very exotic blade band seen right here, starting off with cinnabar, which is a mercury sulfide derivative, which basically means there's mercury in the structure, which is a very, very powerful metal for resonating the conscious self into the perceptions of the malleability of reality, aka atomical theurgy, of shifting points of reality by putting the conscious self into the flow state of the illusion of reality being as solid. It's very, very far out mineral to describe an application in a linear fashion. But the aspect of cinnabar has a very powerful base and sacrum stimulation to burn through limitations, as well as a massive third eye stimulation to put one's conscious self into the resonant sphere of literally perceiving the structure of third dimensional reality being more fluid and viscous as atomical energy as it is, which puts in the realm of being a stone of sorcery. So that's a very, very amazing, powerful stone of magic right there. Then right here will be clear quartz to serve as a neutral accelerant of this closed-loop crystalline ignition sequence circuit, which would be very, very appropriate for a neutral amplification of the entire blade band, not to mention, most importantly, the neutral amplifications of the conscious self-wielder amplification intention, aka this is, of course, an apparatus of consciousness-assisted technology. Then going into seraphinite, a very fantastic, named after the seraphim archangels, green ray, full light body stim from bottom to top that makes for a very tremendous full light body activator and a very, very tremendous dismantler patterns of dis-ease found stored in the chakra column from top to bottom that be indicative of false self matrix imprintations manifesting as an ailment. So it's quite the essential universal solvent light body healer seen right here, which is very, very soothing to mitigate the intensive high yield Gs this is producing based on its power to size cosmic space magic ratio. Then the clear quartz into pneumite. Pneumite is actually quite the exotic black ray crystal that has quite the lore attached to it. But long story short, this crystal of black ray is of ancient antiquity, of billions of years old actually, that we can access from Greenland, from a volcano only accessible in the summer months. It's a very long story, but what makes it relevant here is the aspect of pneumite is a primordial black ray earth resonance of intense old primordial magical earth, basically in millennia ago, like all stones of course. But the aspect of pneumite makes for a very powerful intrinsic linking of the conscious self into the deeper currents of earth, which is another supportive resonating with the void to encourage the capacities of sorcery, in all its variations of intentions being strongly grounded into the atomical weave of reality to effect a third G shift, quite simply. Then going to clear quartz into Libyan gold tektite, which actually I refer to as goldavite as a playful rendition joke I oftentimes employ for these crystal dissertations, because Libyan gold tektite has the same kind of cosmic sheer potent intensity of the golden ray that moldavite has in the green ray. As a tremendously underrated unknown crystal of this timeline that was highly enjoyed by the pharaohs of antiquity in Egypt as a very powerful resonance frequency of gold white light energy that had very high yield fire emanation of solar plexus and sacrum stimulation with full gold ray illumination activation, based on it being quite quintessential space magic rock. Then going into clear quartz, into cinnabar, into clear quartz, and so on, completing that sequence that's very supportive to the Sorcery Ascension ratio by concept. Then down here, as a nice little way to, of course, encourage the magic made real, this would be the transmutation ratio that serves as a very distinct grounding purpose to take all the excessive high yield radial nature and provide a very strong grounding pathway point, earth star stimulation into the earth plane to quite simply make the magic real, and also is quite the critical contingency to get the most out of this cosmic power for practical wieldability. Starting off with hematite, seen right here, is a fantastic iron-based mineral that strongly grounds the energy through the earth stars into the earth for reprocessing. And also, for that matter too, being a high iron-based grounder, takes all excess radial stray energy, firmly grounds it through the root chakra into the earth stars, into the earth for reprocessing, which is quite essential to actually have a ground point for all this excessive cosmic energy I've yet to even discuss inside the blade facing. So, of course, this contingency is quite critical to notarize correctly. Then the smoky quartz working in same stimuli function as hematite to further take all stray radial energies and firmly ground through the root chakra into the earth for reprocessing, deems the transmutation ratio through high etheric dialysis, if you would, into the earth for consistent reprocessing is very advantageous to discourage negative energy to stay stagnant and stored in the field for the rapid dispersal, which is another merit of its importance in the construct. Then, of course, all this guy has been built and affixed around a love currency coin, brought into existence by the wonderful Wizard of Sedona, Mr. Stephen A. Ross, which has been quite the amazing ambitious endeavor, if you would, with the proliferation of the love currency and global distribution at this point, with many crystalline augmentations around it. So this works, of course, theoretically as another foray in dramatic expansion of the morphic field of the love currency to essentially empower it as a modern sigil of high-yield magic through consistent vibrational compound interest, which is very neat because obviously the aspect of with love, in love, and through love is a timeless message that is great to have energized, amplified, because that's quite simply an ultimate absolute truth, few and far between in this reality, my humble opinion. And affixed to the love currency right here be another space magic crystal named black tektite, which is actually a product of meteorite impacting sand, just like moldavite and Libyan gold tektite, carrying that extraterrestrial jolt from heaven into earth, which luckily is a black ray crystal which raises vibration from the earth stars up as a very good black ray foundational physical alignment raising from the foundational scaffolding point, which raises the vibration to the entire auric field, which is very, very nice and very advantageous in virtually all light tech for that exact tangible magic purpose. Clear my throat after this little rant. So affixed on the inside would be these lovely specimens of fulgurite that actually come from here in Sedona, Arizona, that have a very high iron matrice, which basically means lightning has struck the sand in the Ruby City to carry that intensive crystallized vibration of lightning, yet the high iron concentration that makes Sedona a very famous magical spot has been literally vaporized by the power of lightning, which has a very high iron matrice, which further grounds the etheric energy of lightning even more into the earth plane, which of course assists in making the magic real. So with the aspect of fulgurite being quite the powerful lightning resonance, really does bring a very high yield amplification to the entire closed loop apparatus. And to support that right there will be a lovely piece of turquoise, which is a fantastic blue-ray crystal of antiquity that's been well praised for millennia, as a tremendous fifth chakra stimulant, combining the aspects of earth, fire, water, and air through a fifth chakra focus of wholeness, which makes it quite the famous, amazing crystal in the annals of history. Then next to that over here will be something called Himalayan golden azeztulite, which actually comes from the Himalayas, a region of the earth that has unbroken spiritual discipline lineage recorded in the entire locale, which leaves a mark. And the aspect of that gold white light, direct to high heart source attunement, of course, puts a direct continuity to the direct heart of the creation sun, which is very, very advantageous in the aspects of sorcery. And these guys I'll be mentioning right now are a bit of a trifecta that's been well employed in these endeavors of full light body healers. So just like circling back to the seraphinite, the star argonite seen right here is a calcium-based full light body activator, just like seraphinite works to dismantle patterns of dis-ease found in the entire auric field, as well as Tibetan black quartz, which from Tibet once again is a very, very fantastic full light body stimulant, as well as a toroidal field impeccable stimulant to activate the entire root scaffolding of the Earth stars into the Earth, as well as expand the stellar gateway and higher. So the three together of the star argonite, the Tibetan black quartz, and the seraphinite have been well employed as a holy trinity of comprehensive full light body healing based on the same stimuli, yet work as a trifecta as vibrational compound interest to maximize the full healing pattern from the entire scaffolding from top to bottom in a power of three together manifestation of full unanimous light body healing. Then right here, this would be a selenite affixed to oak from Oak Creek up the way here, as well as the four spectrums of kyanite. So the aspect of oak is quite critical in this construct to be a carbon-based transferability of the silica radius. So of course you can think of this silica being the crystal energy, with the oak seen right here makes a more dramatic transference compatibility with the carbon-based avatars we inhabit, at least for now, to essentially serve as another layer to make the magic real. Then the selenite plays quite the crucial role as well, because selenite has the essential effect of being a tremendous 6th, 7th, 8th non-physical chakra student back to one's godhead, as well as a way to have that divine induction clear the debris between conscious guidance and higher self-guidance. Also works to clear stagnant energies from the entire light body from bottom to top with that divine resonance. And the aspect of taking this entire crystalline pitch I've mentioned thus far, it works to harmonize, amplify, and purify the entire wavelength of the entire crystalline closed loop circuit, which is very advantageous. Then the four spectrums of kyanite basically bridge energy at the speed of quantum light, which is quite essential for rapid transferability to make the magic real once again. So the aspect of black kyanite bridges energy so quickly, whimsical penmanship to illustrate my point, into the earth. It works like a surge protector to ensure the frequency radio actually has a constant dispersal into the earth at a very rapid ratio. Then the orange kyanite over here rapidly expands the sacrum to the highest capacity, bridging through the system of highest creativity and will and imagination. Green kyanite is a very fantastic high heart chakra stimulant at a very quick ratio to bridge past any patterns of blockages or resistance points to rapidly expand past any bypass points. Then blue kyanite is a very, very fantastic third eye stimulant that works very effectively to mitigate cross interference between the right and left hemispheres for whole brain thinking, aka the awakened third eye. So that's why they're quite essential too, and with that mentioned, it also serves as another layer of etheric Teflon. With that much rerouting and rebuffering of energy from bottom to top at the speed of quantum light, it's very discouraging for stagnant, weaker energies to stick in the field and stay consistent with that much rerouting. Well, that would be it. The little pocket rocket of Sorcery Ascension, fully notarized. And 1,000 blessings, and may the force be with us all.